Rode microphones are the official microphones of BeTerrific. Find out more at rodemic.com. Welcome to the Michael Artsis Show. I'm Michael Artsis. You are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Thanks so much for joining us. We got a special treat for you. This is Comic-Con week. We're excited. We'll be live from Comic-Con Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And in fact, we'll be live from Comic-Con tomorrow if all goes well on our load-in. The Michael Artsis Show will be from the setup at Comic-Con. And then Wednesday will definitely be live from Comic-Con. And then the festivities start Thursday at like 10 or 11 a.m. I'll get you the exact details. I think it's 11 a.m., 10 a.m. maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. Greg, do you know? I could just go to the website and find out in 2 seconds. Anyway, so I'm excited for Comic-Con. I got a stylist this weekend. I got hooked up with all sorts of new duds. I'm going to give you a completely new look for Comic-Con. It's not going to be this. You're not going to see the shirt and tie, the shirt and jacket, the shirt, jacket, and tie. No suits for Comic-Con. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had a great weekend, spent a lot of time with Jack. We'll get to that later. I want to get to our guest today. I've been excited to have this guest on for a long time. I've been preparing you. I've been plugging her. And I've been telling you she'll be on because she is going to be doing a lot of hosting duties at New York Comic-Con with us, and I'm very excited about that. I know you will be too. She's going to be a big part of BeTerrific, hopefully not only for Comic-Con, but in the future. So I want to introduce you to my good friend, colleague, and the newest member of the BeTerrific team, Andrea Fasano, who is Skyping in today, but will be on set on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from New York Comic-Con. Andrea, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here. Michael, thank you for having me.
Now, the Terrifics can reach out to us in many ways. Thank you for being here. They can go to @BeTerrificTV on all social media, and they can join our Slack chat so they can talk to us, the other Terrifics, and you in real time, 24 hours a day. And then when we are on air, we'll ask their questions and comments on air. I've got Jenny in the Slack chat right now, as well as Poon. You remember Poon, Andrea, of course. And a lot of other Terrifics as well, including the extender. Paul Dixon is there from the UK. And by the way, we will be on from 11 a.m. Every day. I think 10 a.m. actually, sorry. I screwed that up, 10 a.m. So Andrea, how have you been? You're living in California and you're doing a lot of different things. You also have been hosting a lot. You've been doing a little directing, producing, but you've been hosting a lot as well. What have you been up to?
Everything that you just said. Yeah, I've been living in Los Angeles. It's beautiful. I left the 90-degree weather, and it was like 50s this weekend in New York, right? But it's awesome, and I've been doing a lot of production for reality TV. Been doing a lot of behind the scenes, and yeah, some hosting too. This summer, I got granted with the awesome title of the ultimate people person for Choice Hotels. So I was traveling the country with them, and it was so rad. It was just an awesome gig.
Wow,
So-
you're definitely an LA person now. You're like, it was so rad. Hang 10, man. I love the blonde. I love the blonde hair. That just happens when you're out in LA. It just turns
It got
blonde.
lighter.
It
guys.
did. It looks great. It looks really good.
Thanks.
You're like, dude, it was rad. Congratulations. That's a big honor. You definitely are a people person. You and I definitely bond over that.
One and the same. You led the charge when we worked together
Well,
previously.
so I know a lot of the Terrifics watch some of the old press pass stories. They've seen you boxing in the gym.
Awesome.
What was it like working for Press Pass and working at Press Pass?
Press Pass was literally my gateway. It was my gateway drug to the world of hosting and news and all things behind the scenes and production, because really I got to do it all. I got to host, I got to shoot, I got to produce. You know, we were in touch with so many public relations people all up and down the East Coast. And it was a huge, huge, amazing hands-on lesson in the real world of production. So I'm so thankful to you for getting that started for me, because it was awesome. You know, we came from grad school and just getting thrown into the real life experience like that. It was just something that was unmatched. And I had a lot of fun. We met amazing people. The people now, you know, especially in the NFL, the names that I can just throw out that I've been like, oh yeah, I met him, met them, met her. You know, Navratilova, remember?
Yes.
Met all these great people, and it was just a lot of fun because we got I think the best part was meeting these athletes and celebrities and really gaining their trust with who we were as a brand and who we are as people.
Well,
So
a lot of that is in BeTerrific because we're about positive content. We
yeah.
use some of the athlete relationships we created in Press Pass when we do sports stuff, and we definitely have the trust of the people that we do stuff with, whether it be athletes or CEOs or whatever it is. And it's a lot of fun. Or at Comic-Con, I mean, we had last year on set Sir Richard Taylor, who's the founder of Weta, and immediately we were able to have him relaxed and tell amazing stories.
Right.
And then this year, he's not going to be there this year, but he was disappointed in that. And we're getting some other people from Weta, which is going to be amazing, but it's because they trust us and they believe in us and because of the atmosphere, and it'll be a lot of fun. First of all, Digital Phil wants to know what I was like as a boss, which he's in our Slack chat. So and I'll tell you something funny after that. But Digital Phil wants to know what I was like as a boss, which I hate to ask that question. I should have made Greg ask that because it sounds like it's coming from me.
Well, it is, but no, it's coming from Digital Phil,
Yeah.
which is awesome. It's just funny
By the
that
way-
you're sitting right in front of me and I have to tell him.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'll tell you this: you don't have to pull any punches like you might in a kickboxing ring at the. I don't even remember the Gleason's gym, but yeah, Digital Phil wanted to know that, and he's in a hospital bed, so I guess you have to answer. Feel better, Digital Phil.
Yes, please feel better. All of our best wishes to you, Digital Phil. And Michael Artsis, you know what? I'm not going to hold any punches. He is what you guys see. This is who you get all the time. He is a dedicated and no holds barred, go get 'em attitude. And you know that taught me a lot. You never took no for an answer, which is awesome. And it was just you were an awesome boss to learn from and to work for because, you know, we are similar personalities and you were easy to talk to. If I needed something or if I felt like something wasn't going a certain way, I never felt like I couldn't bring it up to you and we couldn't have a conversation about it. So I think that's really important and I'm thankful for that.
Well, thank you for saying those kind words. And I'll tell you that I'm very proud that I feel like I scouted you because I did.
I did.
And I fought for you to be at Press Pass, and I think that we had an amazing time. But I'm glad that I was able to discover you, and you're a tremendous talent. You're phenomenal, and I had a lot of fun working with you. I can't wait for Comic-Con, and I hope that we get to work together a lot in the future on a lot more projects here at BeTerrific. It's funny, you say, do I remember Navratilova? Of course. That was at the Sports Museum of America, but I also remember all the BeTerrific stories. Sometimes I just need Poon to jog my memory, but he'll say, hey, you remember this story or tell that story, and I go, oh my God, I forgot about that, but I don't forget a single thing. What was I'll tell you my greatest memory from Press Pass if you tell me yours, so you go first.
Okay, question. How are you picking just one? We did so many amazing stories with some amazing people. And went some kind of cool places like Sports Museum. It did not last very long,
right,
sadly, but it was an incredible venue and they had many events that we went to that was just like mind blown situations, you know?
Absolutely. I would say you're right. It's hard to pick just one, but there's one that sticks out in my mind. There are actually two that stick out in my mind as really amazing accomplishments by Press Pass at the time. And so I've got it now, but they're all amazing, and the stories are all amazing, and the athletes were all amazing. You didn't get to travel as much as I did as far as different places,
right.
And that was, I guess, a little unfortunate. But, I mean, like, getting a call from Darryl Reed, and this isn't one of my two, but getting a call from Darryl Reed, who was a member of the Indianapolis Colts at the time, in the middle of the night in my hotel room in Minnesota, and having him say, I'm coming to your room, and I ordered chocolate chip cookies, and the next thing I know, it's Darryl Reed, Marion Barber, Larry Fitzgerald, and Lawrence Maroney, and Thomas DePay, guys who were stars in the NFL at the time, all sitting in my room eating $25 plates of chocolate chip cookies. And we're watching SportsCenter, of all things. it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. And so it's stuff like that that were a lot of fun and great memories. Having your first weekend reporting for us as your trial run, you and I had a blast. If you remember, we went to we went to the Gordon, the Ben Gordon Invitational basketball camp, and between doing that, going back and forth to that, we went up to some race with Carey Hart and his race team in Connecticut, which was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you were hanging out with Carey Hart and Ben Gordon in the same weekend, in your first weekend at Press Pass.
That's right. That's insane. I mean, not that I forgot about that, but you're right. That was the first moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did travel a little. I'll never forget going to Philadelphia and interviewing Raheem Brock.
Sure.
At the time, and it was even, I loved how these athletes that were on teams across the country were coming to the Northeast area, and we had access to them, and that was really cool.
You did something with Ian Johnson, I believe, and his wife. I think they broke up, but he's the one who proposed to his. He was from Boise State, and he proposed to her on the field after the. I think like the Tostitos Bowl or something. Is this? Did you do that story?
I don't think that was. I don't remember that.
Okay, it might have been. It might have been Francesca.
Fran, we love you, Fran.
All right. So, what was your favorite memory?
Okay, so I'd have to say, I mean, the Carey Hart one was a good one to pull out because that was the first one, and he was so big, and he's kind of a heartthrob, You're like, whoa, working with this dude, like what?
I was just hoping we were going to get a chance to meet his wife.
Yeah, I know. Pink was there. It would have been awesome. But I don't know. The Gleason's gym one was really big for me because I love doing interviews where I'm interacting with these people. So I mean, he really was teaching me how to box, and it got a lot of views, and it was really fun. And just being in that whole environment, with the boxing guys, and Hector, he's been around for a long time. So that was a lot historically for me. That was a really cool video. One of my other favorites was with Rampage Jackson because he was so big at the time. He had just gotten into all the MMA stuff, and he was not only obviously a high point of his notoriety, but he also was just changing over into being like a coach for those shows at the time. And so I thought that was really awesome. That was a big one because he's such a tough guy and he's so scary. And then we met him and his trainer, and they were hilarious. Just so funny. So
that's awesome. I think one of my favorites was, and we did this one together, was New Year's Eve with the Giants and the Patriots. And if you remember, I think it was the model, I forget her first name, but her last name was Ford, threw a bottle that hit me in the shoulder because she was throwing a bottle at another girl. And I immediately had put the camera facing the ground, and Lawrence Moroney, and I was with Lawrence Moroney and Larry Fitzgerald at the time, and they were blown away by the fact that we didn't care about that footage. And that was awesome, but the night was unbelievable. And then, 4 or 5 weeks later, the Giants faced the Patriots in the Super Bowl and beat them.
Yep.
And nobody thought they had a chance. But if you remember, I said that night the Giants are the only team that could beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl if they can run the table. And I said that, and then they went and did it. And so it was amazing. But that night was unbelievable. I mean, to have the two teams that were going to compete in the Super Bowl didn't know it at the time, together at New Year's Eve because they had just played the last regular season game against each other in New York, and to be part of that and to do a press pass Rockin' Eve kind of thing was unbelievable. You were dressed to the nines and looked beautiful. Yes. I was fully suited and booted, as they would say, the athletes. And we had Francesca there, of course, and it was just wonderful. And there were some Playboy models that made my night.
Yes.
In fact, I got, you don't know this, I got calls from Victoria Girac, Dr. Victoria Girac, who I interviewed that night, who was a Penthouse Pet of the Year for months after that, wanting to hang out.
That's so funny. That was such an experience because we weren't 100%, these teams, they could change their minds, go somewhere else, and then they all wound up going and being so open and vulnerable to us, allowing us into that party and to talk with them about their experiences and their lives and then enjoying the party together. It was so much fun. And you're right about the Giants winning that year. We had met so many, like one of my other ones was interviewing Sonoris Moss. after one of the games. That was a huge deal for me because I'm a huge Giants fan. So,
Well, and then Plaxico was there that night. That was a few months before he shot himself at a club.
yes,
Antonio Pierce. I mean, they were all there. It was an amazing night. And Larry Fitzgerald, who was on neither of the teams, showed up because of all of our mutual friends, Jack
yeah.
Brewer, who is a former New York Giant, who actually set up that party. So that was a lot of fun. My other one, and I believe you were there for this as well, and I just don't remember, was election night 2008. We didn't know if Barack Obama would win or not, but we were doing these Monday night football parties live.
Yes.
And we were doing them from the 40/40 Club, and we had these great shows going. And somehow with Jack Brewer, I cooked up the idea of doing election night live from the athletes' perspective with athletes, talking about what issues were most important to them, why, and what they thought should be done about them. And we had 2 weeks to put this together. We promoted the hell out of it. We had 150,000 people watching it live on the internet and another 100,000 watching it live on television on Time Warner Cable. Wow. And we got all these athletes together in the location to come on, but we also had athletes calling in like Dwight Freeney from all over the country. I know you definitely did several segments for it. I was busy producing, so all I did was announce the election updates, and we had a guy named Jack hosting with the athletes who were co-hosting with him. And I'll never forget when I think it was David Clowney and Chancey Stuckey and James Ahedebo from the New York Jets at the time went nuts when I announced that Obama won. Now, I never thought Obama would win, and I was terrified. How was I going to tell these guys, because I was announcing the election results, you know, Obama had lost the election, and Obama won, and they went berserk. I didn't have to. But it was because... I
was there. I remember this. I definitely was there that night.
And it was such a coup because it was the infancy of doing live on the internet and how we could make it work, especially multi-camera, make it look good. We did it from a restaurant. And then the thing was, we had wound up having fans calling in to talk, and they were calling in from all over the world. We had people calling in from Paris and all sorts of places. And it was amazing because we had such a little time to put it together. We had such a little team, and we really had done such an amazing job on it. And it blew my mind that no other organization who did sports had ever thought of doing this, and they all went dark that night. They basically ran reruns. And we went live with this, and it did really well. And you were a part of it. So that's my other favorite memory from Press Pass, and there were a ton of them, by the way. But those are my two favorites.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, it's just the matter of being innovative and going for it. And that's another thing that, you know, I've learned from you, which I wish I applied it more. But, you know, that's why I'm here back working with you, so that I can continue to learn, because it's true.
We couldn't be more excited. The Terrifics couldn't be more excited. We have a lot to get to, but we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a whole lot more. We'll start talking about BeTerrific and what you have planned for Comic-Con and stuff like that. I know they want to know a lot about you. They want to ask if you're into tech and what you're into and all sorts of stuff. So I've got a lot of questions piling up here on the Slack chat. We'll get you to join the Slack chat for Comic-Con and be a member. And I'm just excited. So we'll be back right after this with Andrea Fasano and more on the Michael Artsis Show. You're the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Rode microphones are the official microphones of BeTerrific. Find out more at rodemic.com. Welcome back, Terrifics. I'm Michael Artsis. You're the Terrifics, and you make BeTerrific special. This is the Michael Artsis Show, and I've got Andrea Fasano joining us today. She'll be joining us through Comic-Con, hosting with us. I'm really excited, and I'm cracking her up in the breaks. We're just reminiscing a lot. We're having a lot of fun. So, okay, I got a lot of questions for you. This is from Janny, who's watching in Finland. He's one of the great Terrifics. Digital Phil, by the way, is our sheriff, just so you get familiar with some of the names who are going to be repetitive. They're going to be on all the time. Janny wanted to know what tech you're into, and do you follow tech, and are you into tech?
I'm going to say yes and no. Yes, as in I enjoy learning about it as fast as I can, and I mean, try to keep up the latest. That was Michael Artsis's role when he used to come in with the Polaroid that printed right as you took it,
Wow,
as
you
you took
remember
the
that.
picture. Remember that
Yeah,
one?
the pogo. Yeah.
So I left it up to you and kind of followed your lead. And the only reason, so I'm into it. I don't follow it that well, but I am up to date with things. We were just talking about the Apple Watch that is now almost outdated, but because I want to keep updated with anything that can help us and help our lives be better. And even with this kind of technology right here, this is insane. So I love it. But
Right, and I mean, we always wanted to be on the cutting edge
yep.
then and now because it helps us be efficient and do our job better and be able to bring you content better. But I will say the one thing about you is that you're like me. You're able to interview anybody on any subject, and you do your research. So
Right.
you can feel rest assured that if somebody's going to come on, Andrea's going to know her stuff, and she'll be ready for it, and she'll know what she needs to know.
Right.
Are you playing any PC games at all, or any games, video games? Video gaming is big. On BeTerrific and for our Terrifics. Janny, that's his follow-up question. I am personally not into PC gaming, but I'm going to get more into it as I need to transition to have a PC to write. It's actually interesting. As much as I love Macs, and I'm all Mac, we've kind of gone PC here because they're a lot more affordable, and we go through computers a lot, and Greg and Adam have really opened my eyes to that, so have the Terrifics. And then we do a lot of gaming content. We have a show called Gaming On, so I want to be familiar with it because of that. But more than that, I do the ad sales here. I do the proposals. I get us into the shows and all that. And it seems like every time I create a proposal, even if it's on a Mac in PowerPoint or PowerPoint or Excel or whatever, it needs to be created on a PC because there's always formatting issues. It's just not good enough to do it on a Mac, even though you can. And so I'm not giving up Mac, but I think I need a complementary PC at some point soon in the near future. So I guess if I'm going to have one, I'm going to check out gaming. I've certainly gotten more into an Xbox One these days, playing a lot of sports games. But it's more so I have the knowledge to be able to talk about it. I don't host the gaming show, but obviously as the executive producer, I need to know everything that's going on as one of the executive producers. And as the CEO, I need to know what's going on. I think lightning just hit the building or something, if you heard that. I don't know what that was. But anyway, we'll find out. Clearly nothing that took us out. But anyway, so, that's my role. I've gotten into the PlayStation 4, and I've always liked video gaming. I just haven't found the time for it. So do you game at all, and do you do any PC gaming?
No, that's exactly the same with me. And I was going to say, to piggyback on the last comment, that I'm a quick learner, and so as are you, and that's how we get excited about something. When it's put in front of us, we'll learn it really quick or try to know our best about it. But the same, I've been traveling, especially this year and last year. I was traveling a lot, and I have all Mac stuff just because it's streamlined. But other than that, no. And once I'm shown something, I will probably be addicted to it, and you won't be able to get me off of using it for a while. So maybe that's why I've steered clear. But no, I'm not a big gamer right now, but I'd like to learn. So
cool. Well, I definitely am not giving up a Mac anytime soon, and my iPhone. I'm a Mac guy.
It's all
I love
connected.
it. Yeah. All right. So then the guys want to know what sports you're into other than boxing, obviously, and if you would give me a boxing lesson. Maybe we'll do that on Wednesday because you're going to be on the show, the Michael Artsis show, Wednesday. As we're rehearsing and stuff, we can have a little fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. And I've learned a lot since that day because that was quite a few years ago.
Are you? You're still boxing?
Oh, I do. I have a friend who actually teaches a certain form of boxing. I don't get the name right, but yeah. I love all that kickboxing, all of that, like anything that encompasses boxing and that kind of kickboxing, those movements. I'm all about it. I mean, even P90, doesn't that have some of the boxing moves in it? So, anyway, besides that, I'm a soccer player. I played collegiately, and I still continue to play on a women's league out in Los Angeles. I love football. I live for football. I would play it, and I'm actually very good. I'm just going to put that out there. But I love watching it. I love baseball, so awesome. Excited for getting into this postseason with baseball. I'm an athlete. I love all sports. There's really not one that I'd say I hate, but basketball is like my least favorite just because I can't play very well. So I don't love it, but I get it. I know the rules and I understand it. So
I'm not that good at basketball myself, and it falls to the wayside for me as well. But I'm trying to get more into it. I'll have to bring the football that we have in the office
yes.
to Comic-Con so we can throw a little bit. We definitely like to have fun when we're not on, or it's during setup and stuff. And certainly we try to have catches here in the warehouse
Awesome.
after the show and stuff. So that'll be
As long
cool.
as we don't hit like a gargoyle in the head or something.
Yes, yes. There you go. So then they want to know, why not try FIFA on Xbox? It's just because you don't have the time. So that's from Janny. Maybe give Janny a little shout out and a little love because he's asked a lot of good questions here. And of course,
Janny, good questions. And I don't own an Xbox, but I know many people who do. Yeah. So as soon as I get back to Los Angeles, I'll get on that.
Now, what are you planning to wear for Comic-Con? I went out and worked on new outfits. Last year I was kind of a noob. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm into comic books a little and all that, and everybody kept telling me you can't wear a suit, and I was like, yeah, I'm the suit guy, that's my thing. Yeah. And then I got there and I was like, I can't wear a suit, and I went with Toki Doki. They hooked us up with some cool clothes, and it was a lot of fun. I wore it under the sports coat. Sometimes I took the sports coat off, wore the crazy hats. We're gonna do some of that this year, but I've got a nice style I think I'm gonna shock everybody with. What are you planning? I know you're into fashion. What are you planning?
I am, and I thought about this because as hosts, you want to be professional, but you've gotta know your audience. And so if everyone watching wants to go to my Instagram, it's at Andy Fasano, ANDIFASANO. You'll get a little taste of some of the shirts that I have put aside for this week. They may be superhero based. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't have exactly any cosplay costumes. I would have loved it, but I just didn't have time to get that together. Well, so I was thinking like you, like a little t-shirt action with some blazer, or I have one all pleather outfit that I think could be fun too. Wow. But I didn't know how serious we were going to get. So.
Well, no, that would be awesome. You should do it, and maybe we'll find some time, you and I, to run around the city and grab a costume for you or something if you're into cosplay. I agree, though. I think you still have to look professional on camera. We can do something for a bit or have some fun with it, but we still have to look professional, and that's what I did, I think, this weekend. I'm going to lose the sports coats, I think, mostly, but I got other things that I'm not going to just be with a T-shirt or something for the most part. It's just not my style, and you want it to look good to represent the brand and to represent yourself. It's the most important thing, and so I know you'll always look good, and I'm excited for it. One of the things I remember most about you is that the athletes always hit on you and always wanted to hang around you. And I always found that so fun.
Which I didn't get because half the time I showed up without makeup because we were just shooting them, that I wasn't going to be on camera. And I'm like, what? I didn't get it.
Yeah, you went to fondue. I remember. Do you remember going to fondue with one of the Steelers? Yes. It was a story. It wasn't a date or anything.
Yeah, so right. Let's clarify that.
Yeah. Now that I said that they all hit on you, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew.
My favorite was a certain Vikings player who may have or may have not played backup QB at the time, and he didn't even see. Let's put it this way: I had a long jacket on, so you couldn't really even see my body or anything about me. And he came. He basically ignored your conversation, came over to me, and by the end of the night, invited me to Minnesota.
Yes, I remember that, and I remember that you said, "Should I go?"
Yeah,
because you didn't.
I was like, wow.
So okay, I'm going to tell this story. This is a good story. Without saying the athlete's name, an athlete offered to fly you to Minnesota to hang out after this thing. And you came to me and you said, should I go? And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your personal life, but know that this is going to be a personal situation and a personal visit. And because you were young, you were young, and you came to me, and it was great. And I remember back in the press pass days, we had put together an employee handbook and an HR book, and I to this day take all that stuff very seriously. And I really said, if you're ever in trouble, call me anytime, night or day. If you ever need anything, also be aware of these situations. And if you ever question it, it's safer to get out than to stay and whatever. And, basically, I was just trying to protect my team and my staff. I said, listen, if you ever see an athlete doing this, or this, and you are free to leave, and we will never air the story, and you can tell them, look, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to say that we saw this, but you no longer qualify for a press pass story. And we had a lot of fun, but we also took it very seriously, and protecting you and the rest of the team was of the utmost importance, is today.
Right.
And
those lines were never crossed.
Never crossed.
That wasn't professional.
Exactly. So. And so, you know, look, I'm not going to tell you if you were attracted to this guy and wanted to have a romantic relationship. I would never tell you, no, you can't do that. That's not my place. It's probably illegal, but it's not my place. But I just wanted you to know, being a young woman at the time who was unsure, that in my mind, this is what was going down. And I think you were flattered, and then were able to say, you know what, I'm not interested.
Thanks, but no.
But
thanks.
You thought you were being invited to do press pass story.
Well, yeah, I was like, hey, if this is going to be professional, I mean, I kind of knew, right. But I was like, if you thought that it was worth me going for a professional, but there was no professional agenda there.
Well, I don't even want to repeat I'll tell you off air. There was one athlete who said something to me once that I've never forgotten about you.
But you never told me?
I don't think I ever did.
I doubt you did.
Yeah,
You're very professional as well.
Exactly, and I'll tell you later. It's funny though, because it's just funny. That's all.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Look, you're a beautiful woman. Of course, you're going to get hit on.
Thank you.
And I'm lucky enough that I occasionally get hit on. Although I have to say, listen, that's not my thing, dude.
Right. Thanks, but no thanks.
No, but I'm lucky enough that I occasionally get hit on as well. But it's flattering and it's nice, but we're here to do a really good job and bring great content to our Terrifics,
exactly.
and that's the thing. So I'm excited about you coming and joining the team at BeTerrific. What excites you most, or what are you most looking forward to? What have you seen that we do that you're like, wow, that's super cool?
First, right off the bat, like I said, it's just a matter of getting the interviews, because past that, what BeTerrific does is really go deep with some conversations and some interviews with people that you may not even known they had this whole other life, or they had a whole other interest. And that's what BeTerrific finds out about, and that's what makes the content so rich, because not many people can do that. It's very surface, very, especially for events, and Comic-Con's a little different, so I'm excited about that whole experience. But, and knowing you and the kind of methods that you teach about that, just by doing, it's just about getting to know the person, and I think that's really interesting to an audience, and that's what most people don't do because of whatever the man behind them, meaning the company, or whatever. They just don't know or don't care really. And as reporters and as hosts, me and you really do care about people, and so that comes across. And that's what I think you brought into BeTerrific, and I think that's awesome. On top of the fact that it's all about positivity and going forward with that, because I love to be positive and smile and be the ultimate people person. So it's just, that's awesome. The world needs good news. They need good information, good content, and that's what BeTerrific is. So I'm very happy to be part of it.
I'm happy that you are, and I'm excited. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more to you, and then we'll let you go, and we'll see you on Wednesday. I'm super excited, and at some point we have to get you in studio, even if it's just to see the studio.
Yes.
Because I want you to see it, and I can't wait to have you join the crew on Wednesday, so I'm excited about that. We'll be back right after this with more from Andrea Fasano and more for you guys as we get ready for New York Comic-Con right after this. Don't go anywhere. Rode microphones are the official microphones of BeTerrific. Find out more at rodemic.com. Welcome back. You're the Terrifics. I'm Michael Artsis. This is the Michael Artsis Show, and I am so excited. At BeTerrific TV on all social media, and of course, you can join our Slack chat, beterrific.com/Slack. We will be at Comic-Con the rest of the week, pretty much. So Tuesday, we're going to be at Comic-Con on doing the Michael Artsis Show. On hopefully, if our internet and electric is set up. Wednesday, we will be there for sure doing the Michael Artsis Show. Those are the setup days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 8th to the 11th, we will be live from 10 a.m. until Comic-Con ends, and then we're going to rerun our content all through the night. So you'll be able to watch all of it, everything you missed, BeTerrific.com. It's all there. We did the site, so the live player is right up, and you will be able to watch it all live from New York Comic-Con live. It's pretty awesome, but we will go live at 10 a.m. every day, and you're not going to want to miss that. It's super exciting. All right, I've got Andrea Fasano, who will be joining us as my co-host from Comic-Con 2015, and hopefully we'll do some more stuff with her along the way as well. She is officially part of the BeTerrific team, and so we're getting to know her today, and that's really cool. Paul Dixon wanted to know he's from London, England. He's in our Slack chat.
A Brit.
Yes, say hello to Paul.
Hi, Paul.
And Paul wanted to know what you think is going to be the most fun thing at Comic-Con. Will it be interviewing the comic book writers? Will it be interviewing the fans? Or will it be interviewing the companies and their founders who make products around Comic-Con, or like Weta, or some of the companies like Project Triforce that make all sorts of cool props and replica toys and stuff like that? Or will it be the celebrities, like last year we had Curtis Armstrong and David Zayas? We're working on getting David Zayas again, by the way. He was in Dexter, Detective Batista. You actually probably remember him from the Press Pass days. He used to hang out with us on our Monday Night Football shows, and he played Detective Batista. He's now on Gotham. I just got a note from him that he's shooting something down in Miami. If he can get back, he will be on set. And
he was in a recent movie too. I saw a movie and I was like, oh, that's Batista.
He was in the Expendables as well.
Oh, I didn't see those yet. I wanted to.
He's and so he's going to try and come on, and we're going to work on other celebrities, of course, while we're there. So Paul Dixon wants to know. Of course, Vin Diesel will be there, by the way.
Awesome.
That is Greg's man crush. And so we might lose Greg if Vin Diesel shows up.
I didn't even see that. I didn't see that he was going to be there. That's awesome.
Well, there are a lot of celebrities, but
there's a ton of celebrities.
What do you think the most fun will be for you? I think, to me, I like it all, but when I interview either a celebrity or somebody who's a CEO of a company who you think you know, and I can pull stuff out of them that you don't know, and get them relaxed and do this in-depth interview, whether it be, we had Todd McFarlane at Toy Fair, who will be there, and we might get him on again, or it be Noel Lee, the CEO of Monster, or Sir Richard Taylor, who is the CEO of Weta, or whether it be, Marky Ramone, who was a difficult interview but wound up telling us some really cool things, or Curtis Armstrong. I love that interview, getting to know Curtis, who played Booger in not only Revenge of the Nerds, but Risky Business, and then is King of the Nerds.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Paul, again, thanks for your awesome question. Like Michael said, it's kind of to each their own. Comic-Con has so many aspects, and it's not, when you say it to people, they don't get that it's not just comic books. This year particularly, I've found out, here's the thing, it's been a huge Marvel world lately, and I know they're making a lot of announcements about the DC between Batman, and there's something else that I looked up that you might want to Google about it if you're into that. That might be announced. So I'm kind of looking for maybe some new news that I think would be exciting. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan now. So for me, just if anybody shows up from the Game of Thrones, which there are a couple of people on the list that are supposed to be there either for a panel or what have you, that will rock my world. And then on top of that, I don't know if you guys heard, but Nickelodeon is bringing back the crew of All That to Comic-Con, because they will be doing a 24-hour news channel, or sorry, not news channel. They will be doing 24 hours of content of old 90s content.
Wow.
Just shows. So we're talking the cast of All That, which was the younger person's version of SNL back in the day, back in the 90s. And hey, I'm not gonna lie, I used to babysit on Friday or Saturday night and put the kids to sleep and turn on All That, and I loved Amanda Bynes, which who knows if she'd come out of the woodwork, wherever woodwork that is. But I just think that cast was awesome, and it was really funny, and it was my childhood, So I think that would be really cool kind of see them.
Yeah, it is. It is super cool when you see people you looked up to or watched as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm excited because this is like the Back to the Future year. The guys from the
Ooh.
documentary film Back in Time will be there. Who knows who else will be there from Back to the Future? We love Back to the Future. We just did some really cool stuff with the Shays, Patrick and Bill Shay, who own a car from the third Back to the Future movie, one of the DeLoreans. They have a tribute car that's an exact replica built by the guys who built the cars for the movies of the number 1 and 2 movies. They've got the actual Toyota truck, which I fell in love with and wanted as a kid so that I could get Jennifer, of course. They have that truck from the movie. They've got the Volkswagen Transporter that the Libyans drove, and they've got a process car, which is the car they're flying in for all the interior shots of flying. And we got to do an amazing show, I think a 2.5-hour epic from their garage, interviewing them. We did some 360 virtual reality stuff with them. That's going to be cool. We're going to be doing some more 360 stuff at Comic-Con this year, and we're going to team up with a company that's got a really cool 360 camera. They're going to combine and do some stuff with us as well. But yeah, I think that that's super cool. I always think about like, 90210 is not sci-fi, doesn't fit into this, but were you a 90210 fan? I kind of watched that show.
Oh, you know, when I watched that when the Brenda years would replay in the summers following it airing. My sister and I would sit for some reason inside on sunny, well, like maybe towards the nighttime, and after dinner we would watch the Brenda years, and that's when I really got involved with that show.
But I'm a big fan of like T.J. Hooker, Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider. So any of these shows, if these guys show up, I'll be ecstatic. I'm a big Batman fan. I especially love the Tim Burton Batman, but certainly watch the 60s television show on reruns. But I love that Batmobile from the Tim Burton Batman. And I think that, you know, all this stuff is super cool and exciting and going to be a lot of fun. Janny just put up a picture and compared me to General Hammond from Stargate, and he said he'll be at New York Comic-Con, and said, I am General Artsis, which I'm flattered that he called me a general. I look at this guy, he's not the best looking guy. I don't know. I'm hoping like Michael Chiklis maybe, or, which I saw a picture of Michael Chiklis with hair. It wasn't that flattering. And then he looks better like this. And then the other one though is when I get the scruff going, I'm not as thin, but I can, and if I look angry, I can get a Jason Statham look going. At least that's what I believe and hope.
Yeah. That's hilarious. You're gonna have to post that photo up later.
Oh, he posted it in the Slack chat. It's awful. I'm gonna show it to you. This is this guy from Stargate. I hope I don't look that bad. I mean, that's just not a good looking guy.
That's hilarious. I can't see it that well.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it for you. I was holding it for the audience real quick.
Oh.
Hey,
oh my gosh, from here it looks a little Austin Powers-y.
Yeah. It's not exactly like
Gold member.
What do you think? You knew me. I had like this beautiful coif. I didn't
think it's been that long.
I had anchor hair. Were you surprised when you turned on BeTerrific or when we Skyped today for the first time?
No, because I've seen you over the. Did I yell?
No. I'm saying, were you like?
Oh no. No, because I've seen you over the years, even though I haven't seen you in person for like 7 years.
I know, it's been too long.
It's crazy, but I've seen you and we've kept in touch, so I wasn't shocked. But I think it makes you look studious.
Thank you.
You look very, I don't know if regal is the word, but.
I'll take it, especially with the suit. I think I look very good in a suit these days. People, you know, Chancey Stuckey told me, and a lot of athletes, I look a lot more trustworthy like this than when I had hair.
That's funny.
Where's that come from? I mean,
don't know.
I didn't have the Pat Riley haircut, although I did when I was younger. I don't know. Which, by the way, the Pat Riley haircut is pretty good looking. Here we go. How about, what is this guy's name? The guy who was the captain of, Poon put this up. The guy who was the captain of Star Trek, like the newer Star Trek. So what's the Star Trek The Next Generation? I think it's Patrick Stewart, I think. Is that correct?
Huh.
Is that right, Greg? Greg,
yeah, that's definitely Patrick Stewart.
That's Patrick Stewart?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so I like that better. That's a
nice one.
Yeah, although Patrick Stewart kind of, this is an inside joke for you and me, Andrea, looks like Ken Eckhart a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
A little bit. Yeah.
That's a good call.
That is a blast from the past, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this looks a little bit more like Michael Chiklis than it does the general, who looks like he's.
You're the only one who has to believe that, so it's.
Right. Oh, then it's Jason Statham then.
Right. Just go for it.
Wait. I kind of have a Vin Diesel look going. No, I'm just kidding. Greg loves Vin Diesel. He loves Vin Diesel. Do you share this love affair for Vin Diesel? Like, if you saw Vin Diesel, would it stop traffic for you?
That's really funny because you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Greg, first of all, that's hilarious, and I would love to know what you think if you ever saw him in person. What would happen to you? But I'm a big Rock fan. I'm
Yeah.
a big Dwayne Johnson fan,
Wow.
and I never was into like the muscles and that big physique.
Yeah.
It's more about I think The Rock is a really good person. I think he's actually like a fun, from everything he comes across. I follow him on Instagram, and he just seems like a really good-hearted and fun person, and he kind of is humble a little bit. But I mean, he's The Rock. But.
Yeah, I met him back in 2000 when I was covering the conventions for NBC.
Oh wow!
And I hung out with him a little bit there, and he was great. He was a really, really nice guy. Oddly enough, Ben Stein, who should be like the most humble guy, was awful.
Wow.
And The Rock was great. And I, if you had asked me beforehand how it would be, I would have bet the opposite. But he was wonderful. He's a great guy, and he is very generous and gives back, and he's cool.
Does seem like it.
So Greg,
Vin Diesel, I have nothing about him. Like I don't think he's talented. I'm just like, okay, I'll take Jason Statham over him any day.
Yeah, I think a lot of women would. But you know what? That makes bald guys like me feel very happy because there's still a chance. Women like bald guys. Hey, George Costanza, shave it a little and you'll be all right. Greg, she asked you what would happen if you saw Vin. Do you have an answer for that?
I really don't, to be honest.
Where's the Greg cam? Why does are you blushing? Is that why you're not turning on the Greg cam right now?
That's exactly why.
He gets to. I should run the controls from in here, so he can't do that. He's running. We have the Greg cam, so you could actually see Greg. He's not just a voice. And what would you do if you saw him? You would run and hide?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't.
What if I saw Schwarzenegger and he was, and I was like, what if I was doing like his voice and saw him? I was like, it's not good. And then he's like behind me, like on that Dana Carvey, Steve Martin thing.
Crush you.
Yeah. I'd just be like, what's up, Arnold? I'd start interviewing him. I wouldn't even miss a beat. I'd be like, yes, how did you get into acting?
Get down.
Yes.
Get in the chopper.
Or like Hogan.
I think my accent's better than yours.
Oh, it definitely is. Well, I'm also getting over a little bit of a cold.
Oh, okay.
Or like if I saw Hogan, I'd be like, what's up, brother?
Oh my God, I loved him when they did his show, their reality show. I was a big fan of that show.
I know, but now he's a racist. What do we do? Andrea, what do we do?
That whole family went downhill so fast after that. Reality will kill you.
I know.
You say now he's racist as if like you just develop it.
Well, no, he's not. We now know he's been a racist, so you can't like root for the guy. You can only think about the character of Hulk Hogan, as a character, because that's what he was. He was a character. In fact, he doesn't even own the rights, right? The WWF/WWE owns the rights to Hulk Hogan. That's why he had to be Hollywood Hulk at WCW or wherever he went for a while. So he's a character. He's not, the character Hulk Hogan is awesome. The guy who plays Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, it's disappointing. That actually crushed me. Very few things am I surprised by or crush me, but I looked up to that guy so much as a kid. To find out he's a hardcore racist, it's awful. And you can't say like he's trying to say now, well, it was a bad moment in my life and I'm not really a racist. Come on, you're either a racist or you're not. You might have been able to hide it for a long time, but you definitely broke out your racism right there, and that's it. Now, can you say, I've changed or my views have changed? Yes, I can accept that. Just like people had different views about homosexuality and homosexuals 20 years ago that changed their views or, anything. And I'm okay with that. But you can't say, that's not who I am or not who I was. Yeah, and you can't change in a week. You can't be like, oh, it's bad for my image, so now I'm not a racist anymore. Anyway. Sometimes we have to tackle these really tough issues on BeTerrific. This is a question from, I think from Poon. Will any wrestlers be at Comic-Con? I don't know. We've been trying to get, actually Poon tried to help us with this, trying to get the Iron Sheik on last year. He was there. And that never happened. I'd love to get him on. We've been trying to get the Iron Sheik on for a year. His people are awesome, but like he's not technologically savvy and he doesn't come to New York. So getting him on means Skype, and it's like, how are you going to get somebody who's never turned a computer on? But I would love to have the Sheik on, or any of these guys.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't come across a wrestler on the list, so.
No, I haven't either. But we will be up on that. We will let you know. We will keep up to date on all the news for sure. You know, as we go. Drax Bautista is Drax. I don't know what that means, or if that's a reference to Detective Batista from Dexter, or
He's
what.
talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, well, okay. See, we go Guardians of the Galaxy. There you go. We need Greg for something other than to push buttons. Greg's awesome, by the way. You're gonna like meeting Greg. He's a
Yeah,
great
I'm looking
member
forward to it.
Of BeTerrific, great team member. Greg, you want to explain that reference and help us with Janny's comment here?
I mean, Drax is just a character in Guardians of the Galaxy played by Batista.
There you go. Batista who?
The wrestler Batista.
Oh, the wrestler.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
right. He didn't say anything, right?
Right.
He didn't speak in the. I love that movie.
You did.
Loved
I didn't
it.
see it. I should probably watch it
Oh
tomorrow
my
night.
gosh, Michael, you have to see it. And because they're going to come out with 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
absolutely.
have to see it. It was awesome. Nobody knew what to expect, and it was fantastic.
I heard it was amazing. Nobody did know what to expect. I thought it was going to be, and I know that it's a great movie. I got to watch. I usually watch on the plane. We travel a lot, and I watch on the plane. Do you have any questions for me, Andrea? Is there anything you want to know that we can talk about publicly, or are these all behind the scenes things? I mean, is there something you want to know about the way we do things, or about Comic-Con, or about BeTerrific, or me? Is there something that I can answer on air?
No, I mean, I'm good with it. I know that you guys just try to promote it, so I would say everyone turn on to Periscope too, right? Do you guys use that a lot?
We do Periscope a lot. I don't know if we're going to be able to Periscope from the Javits because we have very little bandwidth that costs very much money. So you like how I don't even speak English there. I'm like, we have very little bandwidth, costs very much money.
That happens to me.
So we might try to, but it's really hard there. We've got to be careful with our bandwidth.
Well, I'll do it from my phone. So
well,
if
yeah,
you won't follow that. While
you
guys
should know you probably won't have any service during Comic-Con.
Probably not
At all.
Every time I want to do it, I never have service.
Right, but we can certainly do it leading up. What happens is they lock out cell phone service so that you have to buy their internet, and it's very expensive. We have some really great sponsors who help us out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but we might try. We might try to Periscope, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of cool things. Is there something you are dying to do? Is there an interview you're dying to do, or something you're dying to do that I need to kind of? Well, first of all, you and I will be on camera together as well. But is there something that I need to say, here, this one's yours? I mean, other than Vin Diesel.
I'm like, no, believe me, if that happens and we get certain people, you'll know.
Okay.
But I will tell you right now, if a Game of Thrones person comes up,
you got it.
3 that are scheduled to come.
Yeah.
Rose Leslie is the one that I would hands down want to speak to, because she's, do you watch it? Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I don't at all. So it's all you. We might have to do some interviews together, if as well. Not have to. We may want to. But also, I got dibs if Michael J. Fox shows up.
Done.
If Marty McFly walks in.
But that's fine.
But no, actually, maybe it's something. Were you a Back to the Future fan? Because if you are, we should do it together.
Well, yes. As you were saying that, I went to they had the reunion that was at Meltdown Comics on Sunset Boulevard, and I live right near there in Hollywood. And so they had a whatever the year. How many years is it? 30?
25 years. Well,
25.
30 since I think it's 30 since the first picture, which was 1985. So it would be 30 years, and 25 since the second and third film. You
know what it was? It was the day in 2015 that the one car went to the future in.
So I think that's
in February or March.
Isn't it October 21st, 2015? I think is the time. Hold on.
No, we have to look. It was in the beginning of this year.
But I think that there are 2 dates. I think that they go.
Okay.
So Back to the Future.
And while you're looking for that, so I went to Meltdown Comics, and they had a huge gallery display of all these artists doing awesome pictures and even murals. I don't know, everything, abstract art. They just did really great recreations, or just created their own of Back to the Future, iconic moments. And then there was a guy dressed as Marty McFly there, so I took a picture with him, and they had one of the DeLoreans outside, so you could check it out. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm way into the movies, but you're probably a little more hardcore than I am.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. So there is, let's see, this is interesting. There is, yeah, October 21st, 2015, 4:29 p.m.
Okay.
Is the date they went to in the future originally. But I don't know what the deal is exactly. There might be another date they went to. He certainly went a couple times. But October 21st is the first date in the future. October 21st, 2015, and we've got the time circuit right here. You would love, did you get to watch? You probably didn't get to watch it. You've been so busy. We did this thing with the Shays in their garage. I don't know if you got to watch it.
Yeah, the 360.
No, we did a whole like epic interview. You probably would have loved going there and hanging out with these guys. We'll have to set something up in the future with that as well, no pun intended, for you. They're great guys, and it's just amazing. And I got a ride in the DeLorean.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. That's amazing.
It was insane. It was pretty insane.
Just the fact of getting in and shutting the door.
Well, they also, the other thing that was, yes, you're 100% right. That's all
you
I
need.
wanted.
I don't care if it goes anywhere. Just let me get in and shut the door.
Well, the other one that I did was they set the time circuit for my son Jack's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was October 21st, 2013. I'm sorry.
I was like, what?
June 10th, 2013.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that was very cool. I'm very excited about you doing this, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see you Wednesday, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun together. The cool thing is we've got earpieces. You'll be able to hear Greg and the control room, kind of, so to speak. It won't be like this. The control room will be pretty close to us, but you'll also be able to hear the other guests as they're talking in this very loud environment.
Awesome.
So I have these earpieces. We've got, these are bone conducting ones, so they don't go in the ear. They rest outside the ear, so you can still hear what's going on. They're very nice. They're from a company called Aftershocks, and we have in-ears as a backup for you, or we will have them as a backup for you. And I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's all very, very well produced. We have a multi-camera set. We have, so we create this set with an easy up tent. It's great because it shields the light of the convention center. It gives us like a home and a shelter. And then we hang our lights and our cameras from there. And then we put chairs on. We've got backdrops, which we can use or not use depending on the location that we have exactly.
Yeah.
And we do a show. And
Great.
we get these little portable desk things so we can rest our computers and all sorts of gear on set. Wait till you see these things. You're going to want to race these with me. These are the Wowie Revs. And they're remote control cars that also have artificial intelligence in them. And I can shoot lasers at you and crash into you and all sorts of fun stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've got
Very cool. I'm super excited, and I know that as much as I'm aware, I have no idea what to expect. So I'm just ready. I'm ready for it all.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I don't know what time it is right now. Wow, we went over time. Look at that. So you're amazing. Get some rest. Have some fun. My last question will be, what do you do for fun? The Terrifics want to know.
That's an interesting question. Live life. Let's put it that way.
Well, what do you do? I mean, do you go to jazz clubs? Do you go to movies? Do you play sports? Do you go hiking?
Movies. What were you saying?
Do you go hiking? Do you play sports?
That's
do you go
what
to
I was
jazz
going to
clubs?
say. So it comes to mind, I'd love to go hiking, especially in LA. I mean, they call it hiking, but really it's like going up a little over hills. But it's lovely. And actually, there's some great places out there, especially that you could see the ocean. So yes, hiking's number one. Like I said, I love to play soccer, and so I play sports. I really like to just get out sometimes, and especially if it's good weather, just go and sit outside somewhere and be with friends. And so that's a big thing for me. And I just like meeting people.
Very cool.
And traveling. So that's what really I do for fun, I guess.
How did you get into being a journalist, being a host, being a reporter?
Awesome question that I feel like I've never had to answer. Ever since I was little, I knew I wanted to be an entertainer. I like to sing, but I don't think I exactly have a voice.
Do you have a favorite song?
No, I have too many. Way too many.
What song? What's one of your favorites?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
I feel like you're a Madonna girl.
I was brought up on the 50s.
The
So
50s?
like 50s, 60s, 70s. I was brought up on that music, Abbott and Costello movies, all of that stuff. So I didn't know who like Debbie Gibson is, or Madonna until it was already.
So 70s, we could get a little Rolling Stones, maybe some Satisfaction, maybe.
Yeah, like I love everything from rock and roll,
Okay.
classic rock, but I also love the oldies,
So are you a Joan Jett fan? Can we get sing something real quick?
Oh, no, I'm not singing. But the whole point was I'm not going to be a singer. Although I'd love to think that I have like a Christina Aguilera, Whitney Houston voice that I absolutely do not, but I still sing it. And so I figured, how can I be an entertainer? I thought I wanted to be an actress. And then once I realized, I grew up on Long Island. So when I don't know, little by little, since I played sports, you never were able to do both, kind of be in the theater and also play sports. So when I really was just at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm going back to school for broadcast journalism. I love being me, and I love talking to people and finding out more about them. And so that was how I got into it.
Well, that's a pretty awesome story, and you do an amazing job. You really do, and I'm excited. And it's funny, when I was in the process of raising capital for Press Pass, I met you, and we just kind of clicked right there, and I kind of knew that one day I wanted to hire you. So I'm glad you're coming to do this. I'm excited, and I can't wait. Greg, any questions for Andrea before I let her go?
No.
All right. So this is the Michael Artsis Show on BeTerrific. We've got a very exciting week for you guys, and you're not going to want to miss a moment. So we'll see you tomorrow at the regular time, Wednesday at the regular time, and then on Thursday, the festivities begin 10 a.m., wall-to-wall coverage of New York Comic Con with my good friend Andrea Fasano, joining myself and BeTerrific live from New York Comic Con at the Javits Center. I got to thank Greg, Andrea, and of course Adam, who all work really hard behind the scenes, and Andrea for coming on. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Until next time, be terrific.